Okay, welcome back, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Let us continue. Where were we? I took a break for a while there. Uh, right, we were here.
And in the stillness, he began to hum. After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind. The only thing that, however briefly, that melody pervaded every memory, shivering in the raw. Gran lowered the torch, listening closely as recognition slowly set in. Her heart, those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow. A few steps toward Luca was all. Through a flood of tears, Luca lifted his head in astonishment. The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother. Luca blinked through blurry, watery. He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees. Something about her was undeniably his mother, only smaller, older, changed. Lucas sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother. They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies. Eleanor looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness. Joseph slumped into the cold. For the first time in a long time, Luca gazed down at Nuncreed with Joseph stared into the snow. Chapter 9. The Devil You Know. 7 months ago. Eleanor Van Horn crept down the maze of sterile hallways under perennial harvest. She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineering. No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant. It was some sort of laboratory. In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base. She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempus liquamen. There were dozens of them, every one stamped failed. Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching. She was out of time. Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod. Muttering a curse under her breath, Mr. Kerr addressed. Whispers filled. Torment dragged on Jo. He paused for a moment. Kerr gave a bow. Gasps rippled through. Solomon pulled a in one smooth motion. A triumphant. His body and. A hush. This is a story. Sharper examined his. Sharper choked out a frustrated grumble. William Kerr gave a subtle, a helpless quiet. Sharper addressed. He'd planned this moment for so long that now, at the deed's fruition, it almost. Mr. Kerr flourished. Sharper coughed up one final laugh. And so, Sharper set about remaking the fertilizer factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily as more and more farmers across the countryside began to swear by its miraculous properties. Beacon Pines became famous, a secretive town that, for the right price, shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer. This is wrong, but things are becoming clearer now. You can feel it, right? We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole... Let's see. There was a malice lurking behind those eyes, like a trap ready to spring. Luca felt the weight of something wasn't right. He didn't know why, but Luca twisted free. The two scurried off, eagerly formulating a plan. Luca gentled at first. He aired a long holler. Luca felt his eyes getting... He conceded to its... Once again, Luca found himself in a vast black expanse. This time, he knew exactly where to go. He took a single confident step forward. The world flickered and pulsed. He found himself standing in front of the frigid air of a blazing campfire. The source. He plopped down cross-legged and gazed into the cold flame, waiting. Soon enough, the fire began to die out, popping sporadically, until all that was left was a single ember. Luca stood up and dusted himself off. He plucked the glowing ember from the cold ash, examined it, and slid it into his pocket, a keepsake. The voice of his father spoke behind him. "You made me proud, Buckaroo." Luca turned to face him. "Dad, what is this place?" A warm grin grew across his father's face. "A place where everything that has been and everything that could be all wait together." Luca found himself staring at his father's face, trying as hard as he could to memorize every single detail. Wait? For what? Another voice spoke out as Luca's doppelganger stepped forward. "That's up to you." Without knowing why, Luca began to weep. Is any of this real? Are you real?" Luca's father bent down to smudge away a tear. "Of course. I'm as real as the part of you that misses me." Luca turned to look at the older version of himself. "And you?" The doppelganger choked back tears. "I'm as real as the part of you that's angry he's gone. As That makes sense. Through his tears, Luca laughed. I think so. His father pulled him in for an embrace. Time to go, buckaroo. Luca was startled from a commanding voice. Just as Luca sprang. Chapter 5. Dangers big and small. Luca stumbled back. He heard the rope ladder creak under significant weight. Keeping his eyes fixed on the hatch, he inched backward to the balcony. As his hand grasped the door handle, Luca froze. A large figure clumsily wriggled up through the hole.
Holy shit.
The large figure cocked its head inquisitively. Luca's jaw dropped. He peered more closely at the man standing in front of him. Something about him was undeniably Rollo, only bigger, older, changed. Rollo proudly presented. Luca moved to the side and pointed. His hands shot up to. Rollo shadowboxed. With a yelp, Rollo dove behind Luca. She shot a nervous glance at Rollo. Beck's eyes narrowed. Ilona tried to put on a smile. She sighed and she flashed us. Luca gave Rollo a quick elbow to the ribs. Beck flicked a large sheet of paper out of her pocket and slammed it on the floor. Rollo started to wiggle with excitement. Chapter 6. The Heist. They spent the night's end huddled around that small map, formulating a plan to infiltrate the headquarters of Perennial Harvest. It would be no small feat. A modern facility equipped with all manner of technology, not to mention the swarm of clipboards that would most certainly be scattered throughout. By the time the sun began to peek through the car window used as a makeshift balcony door, all were in agreement. This could just work. The final day before the festival would be used to prepare. They'd need to pool every resource at their disposal, pull every favor with a thread. Even enlist some unsavory characters around. Luckily, there was enough ill will and mistrust toward Perennial Harvest that alliances could be found at a bargain. Luca, Beck, and Rollo rubbed their eyes as they exited. They hadn't slept at the festival was to begin in one day. He waved vaguely at Beck snorted. They each looked at each other. Jeff wheezed out. The joy in Jeff's face. Looking into the sullen eyes of his... Luca was... He shouted. Jeff's brow. Sensing some traction. Jeff's scowl faded with a sigh. One good stomp of the foot was all... Luca offered out with a firm and done. Iggy gave a reluctant... Luca knew he tried. Iggy considered. A wild-eyed grin. Iggy glanced over. With a quick nod, Luca. Iggy gazed up at Tish with a smile. A single tear ran down. Chapters into A good heist requires preparation, and thorough preparation takes time. So far, everything was in order. Jeff, Iggy, and Tish all agreed to do their part. Beck radioed Luca that night with a simple and covert message. And Rollo, after a lengthy confession, managed to be stowed away in mission control for Rollo, being uniquely suited for the role, would be the first to breach Perennial Harvest. The outfit provided by Jeff wasn't perfect, but a convincing disguise is 10% wardrobe. Rollo took a few He had to think quick. Rollo sighed. With a stroke of his mustache. He stammered. Rollo interrupted. Rollo picked. The distraction was enough. The clipboard fumbled. Solomon stopped in his... A veneer of confusion. His words rushed out dramatically. Solomon's facade. Luca happened to...
Oh, here it is. Ah.
Luca tried the handle. Solomon leaned forward. Luca smiled. She mimed a quick... The light on the keypad. Luca switched off. On the computer screen, Luca pecked out. The screen blinked to life. Columns of green numbers glowed on a Solomon's jaw clenched into a half. Luca quickly scanned the columns. Once again, in that moment of distress, he quickly skimmed. Mr. Kerr approached with self-satisfaction. Nellie leaned over. Nellie sighed. Solomon muttered in on. Luca tugged on each of them. Luca held his hand. Solomon once again muttered. With a subtle, quivering lip, they heard the tramp. searched the floor. Solomon watched with a sickened look. Solomon clapped with Solomon glanced down. Kerr presented it with before he could finish. Rollo casually talked. Luca jiggled the vial box. She held it tight. Solomon sighed. He pursed his lips with faint, a deep uncertainty. She looked to Nellie shakily. With a dispirited nod, Nellie sighed in defeat. Beck slowly approached Solomon. With apprehension, Beck conceded. Solomon pocketed the vial and brushed off his shoulder with a sharp. The blood drained from Kurt. Solomon shook his head. A muffled applause resonated. Nellie was staring at the floor. The color dropped. Luca was overwhelmed. A sudden explosion. Chapter 8. Comeuppance. Ears still ringing, Gran picked herself up off the ground. Through the dust and smoke, she looked over to see Mrs. Fratelli helping Hiram Tolliver. She'd had to beg, borrow, and steal. How many nights had she spent visual? And now, her one shot at traded for this jagged hole in with Fratelli and Tolliver at her side. It was a strange feeling. The last time she'd stalked, they quickly rounded a corner. Something worth guarding is probably she leapt forward. If her last chance at vengeance for things lost was truly gone. They made their way out from deep within Perennial. Solomon pulled a glass. In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile. With a mischievous look, Beck elbowed Luca. Remember when I had the vial behind my back? I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little junk. His body As the last of what was once Sharper Valentine wafted into the air, the crowd began to Sharper Valentine was gone. His end would be a new chance to let go of the... Well, I'd be lying if I said that wasn't a bit gratifying. If that feels to you like a good note to end on, I won't... I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little malice. His body and face began to contort. The crowd gazed and the quiet was broken when William Kerr sprinted off stage. He was never seen around Beacon. Watching the silhouette of Kerr disappear, first alone through his tears, he was vaguely That was perhaps a bit of an... I'm only writing the damn... I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little change. His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist. Eris awkwardly cradled the squirming child. She looked to her brother, her voice shaking with uncertainty. She looked back down at the infant with equal parts kindness and terror in her eyes. With a shake of her head, Eris addressed the crowd with a stern scowl. Epilogue. Beacon Pines' coldest summer on record came and went without much fanfare. Folks shared what they had and none were left wanting. The new school year was ushered in by the falling leaves of autumn. After everything Luca, Rollo, and Beck had been through, middle school was bearable. The chill of winter didn't seem to bother people much. They kindled a hope for a better future in their hearts. When spring arrived, farmers planted their crops with a sense of joy and optimism. And as the dawn of the first day of summer came again, its light slowly spread through the shallow valley. It crept over the town square, across the river, past the neglected welcome sign, and came to rest on a young boy sleeping at dawn, his mind at peace, knowing he is here for a reason. perennial harvest collapsed, most of the clipboards skipped town. But some stuck around and dedicated themselves to making things right. Eris did her best to ignore the tears welling in her eyes. Mrs. Fratelli glowed with a carefree Mrs. Fratelli sighed. Closing her eyes, Miss Hatch took a deep, relaxing breath. He playfully waggled an apple. Over the school year, Kato and Bert had become close friends. It typically went on like this for quite some time. Luca peeked over Piper's shoulder. Laid stealthily inside a large volume of mathematics was the first issue of Hank Atomic. Mr. Nuncreed shook his head. With perennial harvest gone, the transportation tubes were left unused. Well, maybe not completely. Luca gently for Honestly, I'd begun to lose hope of ever finding it. But then you came along. I don't know exactly how to thank you. It's hard to explain how much this means to me. It's funny, now that our time together is finally ending, I'm at a loss for words. Let's just watch the end together.
Oop, no! No, 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 fuck! Well, everyone, that was Beacon Pines, one of my favorite stories of all time. To everyone watching, I hope you enjoyed. My Beacon Pines is on sale 90% off right now, I believe. Uh, well, as of August 2nd, 2025, it's on sale for 90% on Steam. Not on Xbox, which is also on. But I hope you guys have enjoyed. I shall see you in the next video. Bye!